Hello students and welcome to Tip 405, the Cinematic Environment. Today, this online lecture will discuss the profound impact the digital era has had upon the medium and consumption of film. Today, I will be discussing the history of film, the emergence of the digital era, transformation of special effects, and mas110's theory of film, and how all these influences have transformed the medium and consumption of film. Firstly, the concept of film as we know it today was entirely different in the 1800s due to the technology available at the time. The invention of the zoetrope in the 1860s was used to prove that horses did move with all four hooves off their ground while galloping. This was made apparent by the zoetrope using a series of images to appear as a single moving image. This methodology highlighted the groundbreaking concepts of film. However, due to the limitation of an absence of such technology, which was that it could only hold 1 minute of footage and it could only be seen by one individual at a time, underlines the limited consumption of film in the 1800s. Thereby, through the groundbreaking achievements of inventors, it highlights the progress the digital cinema has achieved to be its enormous industry today. The emergence of the cinematic environment dramatically shifted in the late 20th century because of the digital era, shifting the consumption of film from the theatre to the home. The invention of the VCR, video cassette recorder, established the home cinema as a common household activity, increasing the consumption of film outside the theatre. Concerns for the VCR arose for the film industry. As television and film began to overlap each other, the cinematic environment had an unclear future. However, the emergence of internet and social media platforms further drove this home cinema, transitioning the consumption of film to the household on a private medium. The digital era of film has transformed the concept of special effects from being hand-done to being digitally manipulated. George Méliès's film, A Trip to the Moon, was a groundbreaking production as it utilized technology that made objects seemingly disappear. Directors would stop cranking the cinematograph during filming, essentially pausing time, allowing for a new object or person to be put in or removed from the scene. Such innovation in the film industry allowed for the establishment of various genres such as horror, sci-fi, futuristic, and fantasy, therefore increasing the consumption of film through increased genres. This medium of special effects has since transformed along with the influx of digital tools in all phases of production. Therefore, through the progression of digital era, special effects has transformed the medium of film to be digitalized. mas110's theory on the future of the digital film industry and its changing role in the narrative in cinema highlights the change of film consumption through the dynamic medium of video games. His theory explores the way in which games are adapting narratives and cinematic practices from film. This concept is explored through the game industry being dependent on narrative, as it has created a form of vicarious kinesthesia, which is aimed at manipulating the player to be subordinated into the immersive virtual environment. Therefore, this reinforces the profound influence the digital era upon cinema has had upon many digital platforms, establishing a consumption of media on a unique gaming platform. Thank you for listening today. I hope you have been listening and taking notes, as this information will be helpful in your upcoming essays.